Hello everyone, welcome to your fifth Python tutorial, and in this video we're going to talk about lists. So in our previous videos when we treated about strings, we did some string methods, and one of them is the split method. So let's do this. Let's declare a variable and set it equal to a string, and let's just say how are you. Now over here we can do a print statement, and let's set this equal to the str dot split, and we'll say it should split everywhere there is a space. So let's run this file now, and you can see, let me just make this bigger. It says how are you, and this is being done in a list. You can see it's being placed in a list with this square bracket notation. You can see they are being split into individual words, how and are you, and you see. So this is just a list, and a list have this square bracket notation in Python. So in Python, lists are a collection of items or a collection of other variables. In lists, there could be strings, numbers, or other data types. And lists have this square bracket notation. You must note that. So let's go ahead and define a list. So there's something I'll talk about again is comments. So to comment in Python, all you have to do is this hash sign before the words, and every other thing that comes before this, after this hash sign, will be ignored by Python. So we use comments to remind us of certain things to do with the code, just in case we forget what we are doing later on. So this is how to comment in Python. Just do a hash sign, then the word, and there's a shorthand method to do it. So assuming you want to comment everything here, all you have to do is just mark this all, and you can do a control and a forward slash, and you can see it's being commented out. So that is a shortcut for the comments. So let's go ahead and code. So let's define a list, and let's call this variable list1, and let's set this equal to, and in Python, how we do a list is this square bracket notation. So let's say 1, 2, 3, let's say 44, 5, 6, 7, 7, and 34. So let's print it out in the console. So let's say print, and we'll say list1. And here you can see this list here, 1, 2, 3, 44, and so on. So what can we do with this list? We can access the individual elements in this list. So how to access this thing? Let's just start from the beginning. To access each individual element here, let's say we want to access this 44 over here. You can see its position 0, 1, 2, and 3. So all you can just do is print, and we'll say list1, and we'll use the square bracket notation, and we say this is 0, 1, 2, and 3, so position 3. And let's run this file, and you can see it gets 44. So what if we say we want the position 0, and we'll hit, and we'll get this one. So this is how to access the individual elements in a list. So what else can we do with this list? We can concatenate lists, so we can add two lists together. So let's comment. Let's comment this out, and let's define another list, and we'll call this list2, and let's set this equal to something else. So let's just say 9, 8, and 3, 5, 6, 6. So let's concatenate this list together. Let's just say print, and we'll say list1 plus list2, and let's run this file, and you can see it's been stored in one giant list. So it added these two lists together. You can see according to the position, the first list list1, and the second list list2. So this is how to concatenate lists in Python. So we can also store this in a variable. So let's just store this. let's store this in a variable, and let's call this variable list. Let's set is equal to list1 plus list2. Yeah, now let's print out the list. So we still get the same value here. So we store this list1 and list2 in a variable. So we call this variable list, and we printed out the list, and we got this giant list over here. So this is how to concatenate lists in Python. So what if we want to change the value of a list in Python? So let's say you want to change the value of this list1, the position 1 here, so you know it's 0 1, so we want to change this to something else, let's say to 6 or something else. How do we do that? So what we can do here, let's say list1, I'll say list1, and we'll give it the position, and we'll say it's the position 0 1, which is this 2 here. So we'll say the position 1 should be equal to 6. And now let's print out list1. Now you can see the value of list1 position 1 is now 6. So you can see the first one here was 2, and now it is 6. So this is how to change the value of something in a list. So let's just go ahead and comment these stuffs out. So let's just comment this too. So what else can we do with lists? We can append a list. We can append something to a list. So let's say in this list1, we want to append 9 to this list1 over here. So we want to add 9 to this list. How can we do that? So the way we do this, we say list1, and we say dot append. So we use this method on it, and we say dot append, and we impute whatever we want to append to it. So can say dot append 9, and whenever we come here and say print list1. Now let's run this file, and you can see we have this 9 here. So all we did was list1 dot append 9. So you can append things to a list. Alright, so let's use another method on this list. So we can also remove things from a list. So let's do a list1 dot pop. So this is a method on this list, and let's print out list1. So this basically removes the last element on this list. So this list1, it removes the last element, and we already know that we appended this 9 to this list, so there's a 9 here. So it basically removes this 9 from that list. So let's run this file. And run this file, you can see the first one when we did the print list1 over here. After we appended this to it, you can see there is a 9 over here. And when we did this list1.pop, I printed the list1, and you can see it removed the last element on that list. So this just removes the last element on that list. So what if we want to remove a specific number in that list, not just remove the last number? So we can use the remove function. So let's do a print, So we say list1, and we say dot remove. So we use this remove function here, and we say dot remove. So what we want to remove here, we want to remove this 56 over here. So we can remove a particular number here. So we can remove any of this when passing to the remove function. So let's say we want to remove this 56. So we just pass it here and say 56. And let's print out this to the console. So we say print out list1. Now let's run this file now. You can see it removed the 56 here. The previous one had 56, but here you can see it removed the 56. So this is how to remove a number from a list. So but there's a problem with this thing over here. So let's just take an example. So first of all, let's just comment all this out first. Yeah, so let's do a list1. dot append, and let's say 56. So let's append 56 to this list again. So let's just print this out and see if it really did the work. Let's say print list 1, and let's run this file. Now you can see we have 56 here and we have 56 here. So let's use the remove function again. So let's do the list 1 and we'll say dot remove, and we'll say remove the 56. So let's go over here and print out. So let's say print out the list 1. Let's run this file, and you can see we have this 1, 2, 3, 44, but no 56. But if you look thoroughly here, you can see it just removed the first instance of that 56. So you can see in the previous one we have 256, and here it just removed only 1, and we still have another 56 here. So that's just the problem with this remove function. So you have to be careful whenever you are using it. So what else can we do? We can also use the delete method here. So let's use the delete method. This is not a list method or something, but just a method in Python, a function in Python. We can use it in this list. So we say delete and we pass in the variable one or delete something from, and we say is list 1. And here in the square bracket condition, we'll give it the index of whatever we want to remove, so the position of that element. So let's say we want to remove the position 3, and let's run this file, and you can see from the position 3 here we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. So the position 3 is 44. So let's run this file and see. So as you can see, oh okay, we didn't print out the list 1, so let's go ahead and print it out. Say print list 1. So whenever you do this, you have to remember to print it out to the console. So let's run this file again, and you can see we have this 1, 2, 3, but no 44. So it's removed the third position of the element. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. This 44 was removed. So this is an inbuilt Python function. So we can also use it in a list. So what else can we do? So we can slice a list. So the way we did it in the string, so we can slice this list and remove some parts of this list and print others to the console. So how do we do this? So let's comment this out first. Yeah. Over here, let's come down and let's say list 1. No, let's print it out and say print list 1. And in a square bracket notation, we say where do you want to slice it from? We say from the position 0 up to the position 4. So here we had this position 0 as 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, but not inclusive of this position 4. So that's how to slice a list in Python. So let's run this file. And here we get this 1, 2, 3, and 44. So as you can see, you slice this out, and you can see we had the position 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, but not inclusive of this position 4. So what else can we do? We can also do a minus. So we can come from the back and we can say 0 to, and let me say minus 2, but not inclusive of this minus 2. So minus 2, we had minus 1 here, and this is minus 2. So from 0 position to this. So let's run this file. And here we get 0, 1, 2, and we get 0, and from the back here we got, this is minus 1, minus 2, but not inclusive of the minus 2. So we just get 56 at the end. So this is how to slice a list in Python. So what else can we do? We can also make a list out of a list in Python. So let's create a new variable, and let's call this variable nums, and let's set this equal to let's set it equal to a list, and in this list we impute the list 1 and the list 2, And over here, let's just create another list, and let's just say 20, 30 and 33. And let's print this out to the console. So let's print out num. And here you can see we have this giant list over here. So we have this list 1 here, we have this list 2, and this other list we created here. So this is how to do a nested list in Python. So what if we want to access each of this, the position of each of this list? So let's say you want to access this one here. So all we can do, this initial one, what we can do is, and we say print num. So let's say we want to access this list 1 alone in this giant list. So we say print num, and we use the square bracket notation, and here you can see the list 1 is the position 0, this is position 1 and 2. So let's say we want to access the position 1, position 0. So let's just input it here, and we'll run this file. Now we'll get this list 1 over here, which is this 1, 2. You can see it over here. So we can also access this in this list here. We can also access a position inside this list. So let's say we want to access each of these elements inside this list 1 from this giant list. So all we can do here, we say print num, which is this giant list, and we see the position 0 here. We say inside this position 0 we want to get the, let's say, the third element, let's say the 0, 1, 2, 3 elements. So can just do under square bracket notation, say the position 3, and let's run this file here, and you can see we get 44, and you can see from here we got 0, 1, 2 and 3. So this is how to nest a list in Python. So this is all for this video. I don't want to make it too lengthy, but I hope you get the concept of lists.